that we will have a video of it. So here we are. Welcome to the Black Mountain Music Festival 2024 benefit concert, since we didn't get to have a festival live and in person. But here we are. It's great. Thank you all for being here. We're letting more people into the waiting room as they join us. And so I'm Erin May, and I've been to a lot of the Black Mountain Music Festivals. I was not gonna get to be there this year, so in a tiny way, I feel like, oh, I get to be a part of it because we're doing this online. Um, and Chuck is here with me, spotlight right now, so you can see. And Chuck is the director of the Black Mountain Music Festival. So I wanted to give Chuck a chance here at the beginning of the concert to say hello. You can talk to us about the festival if you want to. So hi, Chuck.
Hello. And you know what? Obviously, we would all much rather be in Washburn Auditorium at the Blue Ridge Assembly. And, this is like the last thing on earth we would have ever thought we would be doing, but here we are. And, the Blue Ridge Assembly, they'll come back. We will too. But tonight, I'm really excited about it. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Erin May is the one who has done all of this, put this all together. And yeah, she was the right woman for the job, and she's really taken care of it. And very, very, very thankful for her and all those that are going to be taking part tonight. And we're going to break in. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking here, but I just want to, we'll break in a little while and talk about some of these charities and just the future of everything. And it'll be good. We've got three of them that you can consider: the Blue Ridge Assembly, and then the beloved Asheville and the World Central Kitchen, and we'll be talking about those, and you'll have links for those. And I'm assuming a lot of you have already donated to different things. But I'm sitting here with Senior Petty, and we are in Madison County, which is a part of the affected area. And so, we've seen a few things in the past couple of days, and it's a big mess in some areas, but thankfully we're doing good and just had a nice dinner and everything's good. So anyway, thank you, Erin, and thanks to everyone who's taken part in this. We'll be talking to you again in a little bit.
And find out if there's any holes. We
Yeah,
might have you stand in for some because there are people not showing up. So
that's
All right.
Erin.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you, Chuck.
Yes,
Thanks
sweetie.
everyone for being here. So we're in like one big Zoom room, which feels super fun. There's 165 people so far. That also means we have to like manage ourselves just a teeny tiny bit. And that means don't unmute yourself when you are not performing. That will help us. We love to use the chat in these big group sessions for you to cheer for the performers and share your feedback. And we love to know where you're watching from. It helps us feel like we're kind of all in this together. We're all in this space. And we're going to do this a little bit like public radio, where they periodically say, hey, don't forget to donate. And so those donation links that Chuck mentioned are in the chat. And of course, they're posted in various places on Facebook and things too. So we'll continue to share those throughout the evening. We are not keeping track of how many donations have been made. So we don't know the number of the amount of money raised. We just know that we are showing up together. We are showing up for each other because that's what the Dulcimer community does. And we are celebrating the music that we all love on this evening too. So, to get this show started, we're bringing up Ken Kolodner and Mary Lynn Michael and their jam group in Baltimore to kick it off with some good energy.
Hello, everybody. This is Ken here. There's Mary Lynn and the rest of the gang. And we get together about once a month and have this jam. And Baltimore Hammer Dulcimer Jam. So let's do it.
We just wanted to let you know that our thoughts and prayers are going out to all our friends in my home state of North Carolina.
Thanks, everybody. That was the Coleman's March and the Rumbling Quadrille. We're going to finish things off with another set of tunes. The first is a tune that I wrote called Caspian Lake, and then we'll finish things off with Snowdrop. Snowdrop. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That was it. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, Ken Kolodner, Mary Lynn, Michael, and the whole jam group. That was so perfect. What a great way to start off the evening. Just incredible. Ken and Mary Lynn put on the Sandbridge Hammer Dulcimer retreats. They actually just got back from doing one last week. And so definitely check out their website. And if you're a hammer dulcimer player, look into the Sandbridge retreats. They're a really special gathering. So as they were playing, I had the moment where all of the technology is working. Y'all know my mantra is technology is our friend, technology is our friend, and everything is working. So we're past that point, and I realized, they're playing this peaceful music, and so I lit a candle, and I want to just invite us into a moment of silence in honor, memory, thinking of, praying for the folks that this benefit concert is for. And I want to invite you, if you have been to the Black Mountain Festival, to post a favorite memory, to post a favorite moment, something special. Share that in the comment section. There are over 200 people watching on Zoom, and there are over 100 people watching on Facebook right now. This is a really special community. So thank you for being here. Thank you for lifting each other up. And in addition to the primary goal of this event, which is to raise some money for the folks in the most devastated areas of Western North Carolina. Our charities that we chose are the Blue Ridge Assembly, which is the place that the festival is usually held. Beloved Asheville, which is a Asheville-based organization. And Black Mountain and Asheville, if you don't know the geography, are very close to each other. And then World Central Kitchen is an global organization that showed up very quickly in that area. And if you know of other charities that you want to support, that's great. But secondarily, the performers tonight all expected to have a gig this week, and they don't now. And some of these instructors live pretty near the area that was hit or in it. And one of those is Jim Miller and his wife Sherry. And they shared that their area was hit pretty hard. They didn't have flood damage, but they had a big tree fall on their shop, and they're going to have to pay a hefty deductible on their insurance policy in order to be able to repair the damage and get the shop back up and running. And so I want to encourage you to go to Jim's website. I will put the link in the chat in both Zoom and Facebook for us. But if you want to send a little support to someone directly, definitely consider pitching in for Jim to get his shop back up and running. And now we're going to hear Jim Miller and Sherry Miller. Jim is always one of my favorite people because you just never know what he's going to play, but it's always going to be fun. And he's the greatest jam leader that ever there was, I think. So thanks for teaching me all about how to have the best time at a jam and all the fun tunes, Jim Miller.
Thank you, Aaron. Can you hear us? I've got a little message here that says unmute. Am I good? Can you hear me?
All is well.
Let me just make this go away. Later. All right. So thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much for doing this. Thank you for everything you do. And we really do miss everybody. Black Mountain Festival is our right up there. Our favorite festival to do. We were really looking forward to it. And we're so glad to be able to contribute something to tonight's performance. So we're from Johnson City. Now, we live close to Johnson City, Tennessee, in Carter County, where in 1928, Fiddlin' Charlie Bowman wrote a tune. He called it the East Tennessee Blues, and it goes like this. Doke.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
That was a pretty peppy version of the East Tennessee Blues, I have to say.
All right. So I guess y'all were aware that there was a big locust infestation this past summer. They weren't too bad around here, but some parts of the country got hit pretty hard. What we didn't have any locusts, but what we did have, we had a cricket. The oddest cricket that we'd seen. He showed up one night, we were sitting here playing tunes and we heard something, and sure enough it was a cricket. He was sitting right there on the hearth, and the odd thing was that he had perfect rhythm. He was keeping up with us note for note, beat for beat. We played we played East Tennessee Blues, and he was right there with us. We'd play a slow English air, country air, and he was slow down right with us. We played a waltz.
And he played in 3.
We played a jig.
He played in 6.
We played a Hungarian Runchanista.
He could even play in 9.
Yeah. Pretty good cricket. And then one night he fell strangely silent. And what we think had happened, there was a gypsy jazz band passing through the area, and we think he took up with those gypsies, and he's out there playing hot swing. He got a better offer than what we can give him now. So in his honor, we're going to do an old-timey fiddle tune called
Cricket on the Hearth.
And if you listen closely, maybe you can hear that cricket. 2, also not too fast. 2, 3. He's not here to keep up. 2, 3. 4. That was some cricket now, let me tell you. All right, so let's talk about this hurricane. That's what we're here for. We live in Carter County, halfway between the town of Round Mountain and Hampton, and the Doe River flows right through both of those towns, and it was flowing, to say the least. It pretty much took out the center of both towns. The Hampton High School is not going to be habitable, usable anymore. We've got a big picture. We had a front row seat. We've got a big picture window in our sitting room there, and we saw it coming. They talk about 80 mile an hour gusts. We know what they looked like. It was raining sideways in both directions. It took down. We had to saw our way out of the road. Our power was out for over a week. And the internet is still kind of iffy. I'm bouncing off my phone for this.
We're very happy it's working tonight.
Yeah. So we'd like to finish up with a tune that kind of lets us know why we're here. This is our version of an Al Irwin tune, and it seems like most folks are looking for something these days. What are we looking for?
They're kind of looking for money right now.
2, 3, 4. I'd say maybe. We all heard about the hurricane, caused a lot of grief and a lot of pain. Let's get together and do our part, help these folks and show some heart. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. Looking for money and we'll do your part. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. Looking for money. Open up your heart. I'll play. Winds came strong and the rain poured down, washed through North Carolina towns, left a lot of folks in a terrible spot. Now they need our help a lot. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. We're looking for money and we'll do your part. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. We're looking for money, so open up your heart. Time to come together and help them out. They need our hand without a doubt. Open up your wallet and shell it out. That's what this concert's all about. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. Who will do your part? We're looking for money. We're looking for money. We're looking for money. Just open up your heart. Thanks a lot, and
Thank you.
come see us when you can.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Jim and Sherry Miller. Yeah, tip them big. Give them some money. Help them rebuild their shop. And thank you for your generosity to all of the organizations doing such great work. I mean, the area of destruction and devastation caused by this hurricane is just so immense. I don't think we can go wrong sending money to any places that are working in all of the areas affected. And thanks for the kind of first-hand account, Jim. I'm sure glad you guys are safe, and I'm sure glad your internet was stable enough for you to play for us tonight. Thanks for taking some of your precious time and energy resources to play music with us. That was really, really lovely. Okay, coming up next, mountain dulcimer player extraordinaire from West Virginia, Mr. Dave Haas, is one of the finest teachers and players out there, and I always love sitting down. I mean, this is another jammer. The thing about the Black Mountain Music Festival, several people said in their memories that their best memories happen after 9 p.m. once we all start getting together and jamming. And there's always 3 or 4 or 6 jams going on kind of simultaneously at this festival. It's just really fun. And Dave's always at one of those jams and helping out and keeping the tunes flowing and keeping us all smiling. So take it away, Dave Haas. Play us some tunes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I do love to jam, and we're missing being in Black Mountain, but that miss or that loss is just nothing compared to the devastation that's gone on. I was trying to think of songs to prepare for this, and trying to think of devastation and water. And on a small little scale, we all know a little fiddle tune called Elk River Blues. And that fiddle tune came from a fiddler, West Virginia fiddler, Ernie Carpenter. And he wrote it. The story was when they built Sutton Lake, it's a man-made lake in the middle of West Virginia, they needed to flood a lot of farmland to do that. And one of those farms was a Carpenter family farm that had been there in the family for 150 years. And so the state bought up the land, and they were getting ready to do the flooding, in which case all the property and those memories and things would be lost. And Ernie was going along with his fiddle right before the flooding, and feeling, as he said, about as sorry as a man could feel. And so he fiddled out this wonderful tune called Elk River Blues. Elk River Blues. Thank you, Ernie Carpenter. Thank you. Okay, let me just switch dulcimers for a second. So in the midst of all this, we ask ourselves, where is God? in the midst of all this tragedy. And God, I believe God didn't make the hurricane happen. Things happen on earth and we're left to deal with it. But God gives us great comfort and in it being able to deal with this. And he touches people's hearts to help with the donations and all the physical labor that's going to be needed to rebuild this area. And my heart just goes out to all of them. My prayers go out for all of them. And so this is a song a lot of us learned when we were just little. This is Jesus Loves Me. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Dave Haas. That's beautiful. I love it when music gives us the space to just kind of hold all the feelings simultaneously. And that's how I feel about listening to songs like that. We're holding the hope and the grief and the excitement and the joy and all of it. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, coming up next, we have Pam Bowman and Jeff Gardner. They're joining us from Michigan, the Mitten. I can always remember because Pam always holds up her hand when she says where she's from. From Michigan. Pam is one of my favorite hammer dulcimer players, another great jammer, and Pam and Jeff are together to share some songs and some love from Michigan. And Pam said that she will be teaching at the North Georgia Foothills Dulcimer Festival, which is coming up in November. So taking a class from her is a great way to support her, and you can check out more about Pam's work on her website, pambowman.com. And she lives in the same county as the Everett Dulcimer Festival.
Yay!
So, yeah, that's great. Okay, so take it away, Pam Bowman and Jeff Gardner.
Well, we are both feel very honored and privileged to be here and be a small part of helping the area that just has been beat up lately. We are going to do an upbeat one because sometimes you just need a little bit of upbeat rhythm to help move things along. Brighten the day, refreshing. So here was a little bit of Ragtime Annie. Ragtime Annie. That's just one that makes you happy. Just playing it. Some are physically fun to play. You know, all of us have probably had some kind of hardships in our life. And I did have a hardship of my house burning down in 1990. So I'm a little familiar with just losing everything all at once. And I was fresh out of college, so I did not have any insurance either. However, my whole neighborhood didn't burn down with me. My place of worship, my church didn't burn down with me. My family's homes didn't burn down with me. So they could gather around me and lift me up. Whereas this whole area, so now we're asking the greater community, and they're doing it. You know, places like Samaritan's Purse and Operation Blessing, and the ones that are listed, you know, the in the Asheville area, in the Black Mountain area that we are trying to support tonight. So the greater music community is coming together. And this song, is one that has stuck with me from the time I was young, because it helped me through some hardships when I was younger too. And it's called It Is Well. It is well. And he wrote that in the middle of hardship. So, Jesus didn't say we would be without trouble. He said, no, that in this world you will have trouble, but be of good heart because I have overcome the world. So, but we can help. One of the biggest ways he helps is through us, through his children. So we need to be the hands and pass it along. So we're going to end up with one more, and it's another upbeat one called Meeting in the Air. The last part of the phrase is, for God's own son will be the leading one in that meeting in the air. Ready? Whoops, that wasn't it.
Don, Jeff Gardner, thank you so much for sharing with us. I love the energy behind all of it, and I have no words to add to yours. So thank you. Thank you so much. Up next is Don Pedi. Don also lives up in the mountains in North Carolina, and a lot of Don's work is in the mountains of North Carolina, and a lot of that isn't happening anytime soon. But Don got his internet restored kind of quickly, and the first week after the hurricane, he was back to doing his Wednesday night jams, and he's making his setup all work. And so Don has quite a few online classes coming up that are a great way to help him supplement the income lost from local gigs in the area. And Don's a great teacher. Don is one of my very favorite people to sit knee to knee with, because it doesn't matter how many tunes I learn, and I think I know a lot of tunes. I sit down knee to knee with Don, and he plays a whole bunch of tunes I've never heard before. And I've got a whole list that I've got to go learn again. And then the next time I see Don, I sit down next to him and I say, Don, play me some tunes. And he plays a whole bunch of tunes I've never heard before. And I have a long list to go home and learn. So, take classes from Don, learn some of those tunes that he knows. I definitely highly recommend you do that, and all of that information is on his website, donpedi.com. Hey Don, I'm not hearing your dulcimer. Is your original sound?
It's on.
It's on? Okay. Just strum for me and let's make sure we're hearing
I was doing it really soft.
Oh yeah, okay. All is well. Perfect. Play us some tunes, Don Pedi.
All right, thank you, Erin. Well, I appreciate being here, and I appreciate everybody, chipping in here. We've been hit hard in this part of the country. Now, I've been blessed. My little area here, we didn't hardly get anything, but 10 miles up the road, the town of Marshall's about washed away. I mean, you can't. It's really tragic. A lot of friends have lost homes. I've seen them washed down the river. Anyway, so I thought I'd play this tune. God, to me, this should be maybe the theme song, called "Rockin' in a Weary Land." So now, that's one I learned from a friend, Kerry Blesh, who was a big collector of old-time music. And yeah, he was a mensch. He knew lots of songs, and he was happy to share them. So let's see. So this is another one. Now I would mention, I should probably say a couple of things because I'm trying to make up for now what's happening. Are you still seeing me there, Chuck? Okay, because my screen keeps doing something funny. Anyway, so I am, you know, this hurricane, I have it easy, but I did lose a lot of gigs, so I'm trying to make up for it. I'm doing my retreat, which the place I have my retreat, 60 people were trapped with no electricity up off on this retreat center off the Blue Ridge Parkway. They had to be helicoptered out because you couldn't get to them, and they were trapped up there for almost a week with no power, no cell, no water. Anyway, so just saying. So if you're interested, look online, go to donpedi.com, see about my upcoming Way of the Dulcimer retreat. And I've got a few workshops I'm doing online, so just please, if you're so inclined, join one of them. But donate to the charities that they got listed. They're good ones. All right, so I'm going to do this little song that it just makes me feel about how neighbors are around here. You know, every community center has people donating food and cleaning goods, and just what they used to say, you can't swing a dead cat without finding somebody that'll give you free water and food and good wishes around here. That's the way of it. Anyway, but anyway, here's a little song come from out in Missouri. She taught me when I had enough to share it with the poor, and never let a needy child go empty from the door. So take it, for you need not fear offending her, you see. I have another two at home, and one's enough for me. So then I took it, here it is, but pray what could I do? And mother, I shall love this miss as long as I love you. Just a sweet little song. All right, so I'm going to play one more. And again, I appreciate everybody. You know, the best part about this whole thing, if there is a best part, is to really just see people put aside politics, people putting aside everything, and just coming together and helping your neighbor. And that should just be the way it is all the time. I try to be that way all the time. But it's great when you just walk down the street and everybody's there for everybody else. So you can say prayers about that if you like. All right, I'm going to just play a little bit of Old Joe Clark. And this is a version I got from, from my friend Bruce Green, who got it from an Old Man Isham Monday. So this is Old Joe Clark, and y'all, thank you for having me here. I hate not being at the actual festival. I missed that one in my retreat and quarantine. I've missed everything this year. There it is. So. Thanks.
Don Pedi! Thank you. I love hearing you play. I miss sitting knee to knee with you. We'll do it again one of these days, but I love hearing you play. So thank you for playing for us. And y'all go take a class from Don Pedi. Sign up for Patreon with him. That provides him some ongoing support and gets you access to play on Zoom with him. Some good knee to knee time. Another one of our friends who's right down in the area near Black Mountain is Robin Bullock. And Robin started coming to the Black Mountain Music Festival because he's good friends with Ken Kolodner. And he agreed to play for us and also has access to internet. So yay! And Robin's got albums on Bandcamp. So check out his music on Bandcamp. Bandcamp is one of those great ways that you can buy a digital album instead of a physical CD, which we don't all have players for anymore. So you can get your music digitally, but it still really directly supports the artist as opposed to the streaming services that don't pay very well. So buy Robin's music on Bandcamp, support him in that way. And Robin, thank you for being here. And
my pleasure. Great to be here. Well, let me just say, just add my word of welcome to everyone who has played so far. It's great to be here. I'm sorry we can't be at the Blue Ridge Assembly, but we'll be there next year. In the meantime, I'm going to play you a pair of tunes that go back quite a ways. They've stood the test of time. The first one is about 400 years old. It's a piece for the lute composed by John Dowland called Mistress Nichols' Almon. And from there, I'll go into an Irish harp tune composed by Turlough O'Carolan, the great blind bard, about 300 years ago. So a relatively recent tune, that one. Named for one of his noble patrons. It's called Lord Inchiquin. So a tune by Dowland and a tune by Carolan. couple of tunes there from the first from John Dowland, great English lutenist and lute composer from Shakespeare's time. In fact, they probably knew each other. That was Mistress Nichols Almond, and then the harp tune by Turlock O'Carolan, Lord Inchiquin. I have a mysterious thing on the screen I'm just going to get rid of. There we are. Okay, that's better. So, yes, speaking as a resident of Black Mountain for the last 11 years, I would just like to say thank you to everyone who is contributing to all of the charitable organizations and rescue organizations that are working so hard to bring our community back. The community itself has risen to the occasion just magnificently. Everybody is helping everybody else, and it's just been an amazingly inspiring thing to see. I am one of the lucky ones. My place was undamaged, and I was able to evacuate after about 3 days and come up here to Olney, Maryland, where I am at the moment. But I've definitely seen the devastation. The town of Swannanoa, which is midway between Black Mountain and Asheville, was pretty well flattened. It looks like a war zone there. So there's going to be a lot of recovery, and it's going to take a long time. So we're all very grateful to everyone involved in making it happen. So I thought I would, if I can wrestle this thing into some semblance of being in tune, I thought I'd finish off with my guitar interpretation of a classic Stephen Foster song that seems appropriate for the moment. Come on now, behave yourself. All right, that's pretty good. I can stand it if you can. Maybe not. So this is dedicated to the hope that hard times will come again no more. So this is Stephen Foster's Hard Times Come Again No More.
Robin Bullock. Oh, I've loved Hard Times for a long, long, long time, but there was one chord you played in there that was just like, oh, and it melted my heart. So, thank you so much. Okay, so here's the deal. This is a long concert because we wanted to include all of our friends. And so this is your moment to wiggle. But while you wiggle, Chuck and I are going to talk a little bit. So this is intermission / listen to us talking for a minute. Hi, Chuck. How's it going?
It is going great. I'm loving this.
What do you think of this concert?
Yes, I'm digging it. And I'm watching on Facebook. I'm watching on Zoom. It's amazing. And, you know, I'm not shocked at all. We've got a lot of chat going on and some beautiful people. You know, I want to say, because, you know, over the past couple of weeks, I've been getting a lot of messages from people, and I want to thank everybody, first of all, for the support you've given Black Mountain over the years. This was going to be the 9th year. So next year, you know, I'm going at it. We're coming at it from an optimistic point of view and saying, you know, there will be a number 10 and we're going to get that going on. We've already basically got it planned. You know, because we had this year going on anyway. But all that to say, I've been getting the different messages from people and the support, and people, you know, are in fact, I meant to mention this earlier. I haven't gotten all the totals yet, Aaron, but I think we're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood, maybe more than this, but somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000 to $3,000 already donated from these lovely people, many of whom are watching here tonight. So it's, you know, it's overwhelming. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. And so I'm just glad to be a part of the community. And
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
pretty magical.
Yeah.
I know I
love
said we
all-
weren't going to track donations at all, but there is a way in Zoom and in Facebook to do like a little poll. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the poll in both of those places. You do not have to answer, but if you want to, it'll give us kind of an idea of how many people have donated to each of these organizations on behalf of the Black Mountain Music Festival. And so, yeah, you can fill that out if you want to. Go ahead, keep
Aaron,
talking.
well, now have you been watching on Facebook? I want to encourage people to follow the YMCA Blue Ridge Assembly, and they've been posting daily updates on some of the work that's being done there, and you know, they're getting it back together. It's going to come together. Melissa, the CEO there, she's working really hard to get things back together, and so. Anyway, I want to encourage people to follow their page, and you'll get updates on that as well.
Oh yeah, that's great. I love knowing some good reliable sources of folks in the area to follow for updates too, you know, because it's hard to know what's really happening on the ground. We were talking about that earlier, that, you know, the situation in one town is not the same as the situation in the next town, and this devastation covered such a large geographic area that knowing some places to get updates from to kind of know what's going on the ground is really helppful, valuable for me.
Oh, now here's some completely opposite things too I wanted to bring in.
Oh, good.
The parts of our, and you know, that was the thing, like Aaron had mentioned earlier, you know, Aaron wasn't going to be able to be there this year, but also Sissy wasn't going to be able to be there. So, you know, if you've got grandkids or kids, whatever, she's touring with Blippi, folks. You know, Disney-owned Blippi. They're filling like 2,000 seat, you know, auditoriums. They're packing them in, and she's touring with them. And our friend Lydia Britton just had her baby, Sawyer Todd. So she was going to be, you know, AWOL this year too. Well, not absent without leave. She had an excuse.
She had permission.
Yeah. So she had Sawyer Todd just the other day. And so, you know, she's super excited. She and Jeremy are going to be great parents, and that's exciting. And, you know, but they're doing some really cool stuff too. But yeah, I'm sitting here just thinking about how much I'm looking forward for all of us to be back together and, you know, face to face and all that kind of stuff. So it'll make it even better next time.
Exactly. There's a couple other people who are in our dulcimer music community who I know had some more of the storm damage and lost some things, some more than others. And so I in the spirit of rallying around our people, I'm gonna put a couple more links into the chats. So Lyle Rickards, I met at the Black Mountain Music Festival. He lived in the Biltmore Village kind of parking area in a bus, and that whole area got completely flooded. He lost everything except his instruments. He has been able to evacuate now, but PayPal and his Bandcamp are ways to support him.
Right.
Matthew Dickerson, his family in Georgia sustained damage from trees falling on their house, and they're expecting a new baby very soon. And so they're hoping to get the house back livable by the time the baby comes. And so check out Matthew's website, buy something from him that'll help them get their work done that they need. And then Steve and Ruth Smith, they did not have direct damage, but they're in the area affected, and I know they're among the people who lost a lot of work, and their internet access has been very in and out. So some of the ability of folks like Don and Robin to kind of recover some of their lost income is in being able to do things online. And Steve and Ruth are not yet kind of back to having stable internet access. So check out their work and support them if you can. So those are some of the musicians. I'm sure I'm missing people, y'all. So if you've got friends, neighbors, folks who are part of our community who could use a little extra support, drop links in the comment section. I'm all for that. What else do you want to say, Chuck? Anything else we need to make sure we talk about?
Well, you've hit on a lot of it. And I think that there are people, and I've seen a few of them in the comments, who also are in the affected areas. And some of them are in some pretty heavily affected areas. So, our thoughts, prayers are with you all on that. It's going to be a while, I'm sure, to get everything back, the way that it was. But one of the things that, and I think this is going to be true for us as a festival, but Melissa, the CEO again at Blue Ridge Assembly, she was mentioning the other day, I thought it was really great the way she approached it. She said, now we're going to have an opportunity to reimagine what this place will be. A place that was built, not far after the turn of the 20th century, in the early 1900s. I think some of these buildings were like 1910, 1915. And now, through fresh eyes, the 21st century, just kind of get to reimagine, what that place can be. And I'm hoping that when we get back there, you're going to see, a whole different kind of a place. I'm thinking in a much more, in a much better way, and a much stronger way. Yeah, and I think that's going to be true for a lot of things going on in this area, as things start to improve, that they'll reimagine and start to really rebuild what they had, and reimagine it in a new direction. So it's going to be exciting in that regard. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Great. Huh. Yeah. I love that. Okay, well, shall we keep the show going then? Do you think everybody had a long enough wiggle break?
They're in their easy chairs. What do you mean?
That's right. Nobody needs to get up and wiggle. So we have a real fun treat next, because the First National Dulcimer Orchestra, which is led by Kirk and Judy Haas, they were going to play at the Black Mountain Music Festival, and tonight actually would have been the night that they were playing as part of the open mic concert series. And they actually got to record the pieces at the Kentucky Music Week Festival this summer that they would have been playing tonight. So they meet online for rehearsals, and they actually met tonight online right before this concert and played through their pieces. And Kirk sent some words. He says, we in the First National Dulcimer Orchestra are forever grateful to Chuck for giving us a spot to play a concert set during the evening performances at Black Mountain Music Festival. We've had the opportunity to give back during this time of heartbreaking tragedy. I don't want to toot our horn, but Chuck knows that we've donated much of it directly to the Blue Ridge Assembly, and we appreciate your sharing some of our videos tonight. And so they say thank you, and now we're going to get to hear a couple of pieces from the First National Dulcimer Orchestra as soon as I get all of my ducks in a row here.
So our final number today is Iran Nini.
Oh, hang on. I'm playing the wrong one, though. Hang on. Uh-oh. Don't go anywhere. Now what do you see? I can't see what you see.
First National Dulcimer Orchestra, La Paloma.
Okay, good. Here it goes then.
While you're here, you came to watch this wonderful, marvelous dulcimer. Even though they're mountain dulcimer players, it's this wonderful dulcimer symphony. You can defend that later, Judy. Thank you all for coming and turning out. Hasn't it been a great week? Now give yourselves a big round of applause. And then after you're done applauding yourselves, Miss Judy House will tell you more.
So I'm delighted to introduce to you again this year the First National Dulcimer Orchestra, and we hail from all over the United States and Canada. And so we're going to play a select set of numbers for you today, so just sit back and enjoy. You won't be able to relax on some of these, and some of them might put you to sleep, so listen carefully. So we're going to open with the song that in English means the dove, and that is a Spanish song, and it's been around for 140 years. And it has more than 1,000 variations to this song, and ours makes 1,001. So, and it's certainly the most recorded Mexican or Spanish song in the world, and this is La Paloma, the dove.
Next up is Musette in D, which was attributed for a very long time to Bach. However, historians recently have said that, well, maybe it wasn't really composed by him. It appeared in his notebook for Anna Magdalena back in 1725, but now they're considering it anonymous. They're not sure if one of his sons wrote it or who did, but it's a Baroque era piece, so it'll be Musette in D. So our final number today is Aran Nini, which means the washing song. And Carol Walker arranged this piece after a long visit to the Isle of Man. And so this is a Manx tune, and to me it's one of the prettiest melodies that I have ever heard. And she did a marvelous job arranging this piece, and we want to share it with you now. The story is that this is from the fairies, and they would sing this song before they put their babies to bed as a lullaby, but it was while they were bathing them. So in the English translation of Aran Nani, it means the washing song. And so this is it. Try to stay awake. You don't want to miss this.
First National Dulcimer Orchestra, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Kirk and Judy and Ellen for directing that group and for making it possible for us to share some videos with you tonight. That was pretty cool. All right, we've got more music, so don't go anywhere, friends. Next up is Katie Moritz. Katie is a wonderful hammer dulcimer player from Illinois, up in the Chicago area, and she also makes hammers, hammer dulcimer hammers, and some really lovely pottery, which yesterday I was looking because you were running a pottery sale and it looked like there was still one piece maybe available. So definitely check out Katie Moritz's website for all of the beautiful things she makes and the music that she creates. Katie Moritz, play us some tunes.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you so much for organizing this. It's just wonderful to be here, and I'm really sad not to be in Black Mountain. That was going to be my first time doing this festival. My in-laws have lived down in just outside Brevard in Transylvania County, so that area is very affected by all of this, and it's kind of a home away from home for me. So I was really looking forward to being able to go there and also, you know, see my dulcimer friends along with my family. But not this year, so hopefully next year, hopefully the Blue Ridge Assembly can rebuild in the next year and we can all be together. So I'm going to be donating tonight as well, but I'll just go ahead and play a couple of tunes that I have planned for you all. This first one, nobody's played it yet tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and play Tennessee Waltz. All right, I've just got one more for you tonight. This tune is from The Greatest Showman. It's called A Million Dreams. Thank you all so much.
Katie Moritz. Woo! That was great. Love it. Thank you for playing for us. Okay, coming up next is Steven Seifert. Steven Seifert is iconic. He's one of the folks who has just taught so many of us how to play the mountain dulcimer. Steve has a great A to Z monthly subscription. If you want to support him and get some mountain dulcimer instruction along the way, that's all online, and that's a great program that Steve offers. Steve helps lead jams. He's got a great book for helping people jam. So does Dave Haas. We are all jamming people, right? We're community people. We love to get together. We love to share music and to play. And Steven Seifert also is a big part of the Corn-Tune Dulcimer Festival. So is Katie Moritz. And so we're just delighted to have your music. Play us some tunes. You ready? Okay, am I unmuting you? You got it. Okay, there you go. Take it away, Steven Seifert.
Hey, I'm going to talk at the end of my set. I was just, my whole life I think about some of the places I'm enamored with, and it always comes down to Black Mountain and Swananoa and Boone and Don Pedi's Hill, and Asheville. I like a lot of places, but there's just so many people that really, for me, it comes down to those areas. And so I love y'all if you've been going through this stuff. And we're going to see you soon. And I'm glad Chuck wants to do number 10. I'll be there. So that's all, folks. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Stephen Seifert. I agree, too. I've always thought, I live in Kansas because that's where my family all lives. And I have sometimes even felt like I was born in the wrong place. I feel like my roots have to have been from North Carolina, because every time, from the time I was in high school and I went there the very first time, and one of the very first stops we made was just at a McDonald's for ice cream cones and clean bathrooms. And there was a group of people having their McDonald's coffee and jamming in that McDonald's. And it was like, oh, this is it. This is the magical place, And so I agree. I have so many really, really fond memories in North Carolina, and it feels like if ever I was gonna live in a place that wasn't Kansas, because that's where my family is, it would be the mountains of North Carolina. And so to watch all of this destruction and all of these little towns that I've been in, and I have memories of the tunes that I played in that town, it's really sad to watch. And it's also really beautiful to see the community gathering together. I've just been in the background doing some math from the poll that was not a requirement for people to fill in, but of those who did, $11,000 has been donated tonight to these organizations. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. And that's not that's the people who put the numbers into the poll. So, you guys are amazing. This community is the greatest community I can imagine. And, I feel really fortunate to be a teeny tiny part of it. And so, yeah. Okay, we have some more tunes to hear, though. The night is not over. We still have music to play and to listen to. And next up is Alice Mears. She hails from the Branson, Missouri area. She plays regularly at the Butterfly Palace in Branson, which I think is just so magical. And Alice is getting ready with her friend David Wilson, who's a mountain dulcimer and mandolin and fiddle and multi-instrumentalist musician, to have a Christmas concert on December 8th in Springfield, and also live streamed. So we'll put the links for that information in the chat. And so a great way to support Alice is to come to her Christmas concert. So do definitely check that out. And let's hear some tunes.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you for doing this. Guys, tonight the word I've heard most often is community. And it's so important. And I am so honored to be a part of this tremendously supportive community. And I have always loved the way we reach out to each other and to other folks. So I moved here to the Ozarks 13 years ago. And what I found out right away is, everybody would tell me this, that the Ozarks were populated primarily by folks from Appalachia. They would head west and they'd get to these hills and go, oh, we must be home. And so all the hillbillies here are related to all the hillbillies there. And I know that's where my ancestors came from as well. So here's a hillbilly tune. It's the Pig Ankle Rag. Thank you. The next tune I'd like to play, I think is pretty special. Fellow in Nashville, Mark Schatz, composed this tune a number of years ago. I fell in love with it, asked for permission to perform it, and he said graciously, yes. So, couldn't be more appropriate. Here's the Black Mountain Air. I think that speaks to the resilience of this community and the beauty thereof as well. You know, last year was supposed to be my first year at Black Mountain, where I was all excited, Chuck, and I ended up getting a pacemaker instead. But the good news is I'm still here this year. So this is going to be my first year at Black Mountain. Next year, we're going to do this. I promise we're going to do this. So prayers go out to the folks, all the folks. And I'm going to play an old hymn tune, which also speaks to the power of music and the resilience of the community. It's called How Can I Keep From Singing? Thanks for being here.
Eyeless Mears. I really hope next year is your year to get to go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Ugh, such lovely playing. Thank you so much. Y'all don't want to miss Eyeless's Christmas concert. That is for sure. December 8th is the date for that. And her website will have all the information. Okay, we've got 2 more performances for you tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us all evening. The music just keeps getting better and better and better and better, and I'm soaking it all in, and I feel so grateful for all of that too. Being Futch has been practically living in the Carolinas since the beginning of October. He had a whole big tour planned around Black Mountain Music Festival, and some of the around things are still happening, and so he's there in his RV in the Carolinas. So yeah, he's hanging out, and we will share his PayPal and website links in the chat there momentarily too. So, and Bing also has a wonderful, active, lively Patreon community. So definitely check out Bing's Patreon as well and get involved in ongoing support of his work and contributions to our community in that way as well. All right, Bing, let's hear some tunes.
Hello, Aaron. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Thank you all very much. I just want to say that my heart goes out to everybody who's been affected not only by hurricanes Helene, but also Milton. I'm still parsing through a lot of it, and but the most important thing here is we can think about it and parse through it later. The first thing right now is to act and to help and to be there and support each other and the people who are going through all this stuff. So let's bond together and be human and do the best that we possibly can. Do not worry about tipping me at all. Please send all of your money to people who have been through a lot. We lost a little bit in the storm, but nothing like the suffering that's going on right now. I will tell you, though, this next quick little piece to lead me out was written while watching a record 15 tornadoes bear down on my home during Hurricane Milton. So this is called Hell Broke Loose. God grant us all the serenity to get through all of this and the peace to be nice to each other. God bless you all. Keep it going. And thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Chuck, for all you've done. A lot of healing going on and a lot of healing going forward. Thank you all so very much.
Bing, Futch. Hey, Bing, a couple people asked, how's your wife doing in Florida?
She is doing much better. She's back home, and she went through the storm when I was kind of guiding her through it and helped batten her down the hatches, and the neighbors got together and helped out with that. So I'm home on Monday, but it was a very harrowing ordeal to be far away from home and watching that all go down, far away from her and everything else. So we came through okay. So thank you very much for all of your prayers and your good thoughts out there. They're very much appreciated.
Safe travels back on Monday for you, too.
Thank you.
Yeah. You said 15 tornadoes, and I'm from Kansas, which is Tornado Alley, and I went, that's crazy. That's a lot. Yikes. Glad everything with your household is all right. All right, so I figured out how to reopen the poll, which maybe is useful or maybe not. I don't know if it's helpful or not. But anyway, the total amount that I know as of right now that has been donated tonight is $13,583. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for your generosity and contributions and the way we hold each other up in this dulcimer world is just so powerful. It's so powerful. So we're going to bring up our last performer now, Mr. Rick Thum, the jam maestro himself, the one who always holds us all together, gets that jam started every time, and always has such beautiful music to play for us. So, Mr. Rick Thum, take it away.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Hey,
So,
I'm going to
here we
jump
are.
in because
Uh-oh.
I forgot to do part of my part. I was so distracted by the great big gigantic number on my calculator that I
Which is
forgot
the
to
main
say
thing.
Rick's gonna do a really awesome Christmas concert and you need to buy tickets to Rick Thum's Christmas concert. It's live at the Sheldon Theater in St. Louis and also streamed on YouTube, and your tickets to that concert help support Rick Thum's work in the world. So buy a Christmas concert ticket. Okay, now
Thank
you can talk.
Aaron. Mine and 6 other musicians, because I am with 6 other musicians on that. But that's my more, I say, mellow Christmas piece that kind of brings out that spirit of joy and sadness at the same time. So started with that one, and now going to do a piece that was written by a friend of mine. His name is Merle Trixton, and he's from the Louisville, Kentucky area. And it's a song about living in the mountains and growing up in the mountains, and what a wonderful place it is. And some of us choose to leave the mountains and come back, and when we come back, home is never quite the same as when it comes back. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be experiencing that right now with what's going on with the storms and everything. That homes have been destroyed, and coming back to homes is going to be a different experience. So this is Merle's take on that from a different perspective, but sort of similar to what's going on now. It's called Down the Old Dirt Road. Hillbillies from Kentucky, doggone we were lucky. Seemed no one knew just how good it was. Mountains to the skies and trails where we would hide till Ma would make us bid the day goodbye. Slippery rocks and a cool breeze raise the sun through the summer trees as we walk through these woods on our own. Dirty feet and ragged clothes, we were poor so we were told. Life was sweet at the end of the old dirt road. And that little leaning shack, how I long to go back to the place where time would stand still, where a cool summer breeze neath the tall maple trees was all you need to lay down your weary load. Yeah, life was sweet at the end of the old dirt road. You know, time it marches on. Young ones grow and then they're gone. It seems like we all go through the phase. Nothing's good enough, least of all hills and brush and crooked, wilted, simple mountain homes. Ain't it funny it'll pass, and for old times at last, you'll long and you'll wish you could return. Glass of tea on a front porch swing, just listening to the rain as it drips from the trees along that old dirt road. And that little leaning shack, how I long to go back to the place where time would stand still, where a cool summer breeze neath the tall maple trees is all you need to lay down your weary load. Yeah, life was sweet at the end of the old dirt road. And that little leaning shack, how I long to go back to the place where time would stand still. See my mama smile at me as she walks beneath the trees. Oh, how I long to lay down this weary load. Yeah, life was sweet at the end of the old dirt road. Yeah, life was sweet at the end of the old dirt road. Thank you, everybody. I really, really want to put out a big thank you to Aaron. Aaron sent out an email just about 1 week ago. I don't know if it was a day or two longer, but it was right at 1 week. And I thought, this is a pretty big thing to try to get together. It's kind of like herding cats when you're herding this group. And getting everybody together and picking a date and making the date work for everybody was a really big job. Getting all the particulars, finding out where to make those donations. My hat's off to Erin and anybody who supported and gave her help. My hat's off to the music community for everybody reaching in and pulling out and finding a date that worked for all of us, bending schedules, doing what we did. My hat's to all of you for participating in this and for being a part of it and digging deep into your wallets to help the communities that need it, from us that have and are not hurting to those that are hurting. And I want to thank everybody and thank Aaron especially for putting this together. $13,000. Who would have ever thought that possible? I guess maybe we all did, didn't we? What a community. Thank you. So we were originally going to do whiskey before breakfast, and I sent Aaron a text because I had an idea. How about we do something that we always do at the end of Chuck's festival? What do we always end the festival with? North Carolina Breakdown. So how about all you mountain dulcimers out there that are going to play along, retune to G quickly, because we're going to do North Carolina Breakdown to end this thing. And Aaron, I think you're going to flip in between some of the other players who are playing along and feature some of them at points. So let's get it going. One more time. Thank you, everybody, and good night. It's all yours, Aaron.
Yeah! All right. Black Mountain Music Festival benefit concert. Okay, I had some more numbers come in, and my final math is $20,745.
Wow.
You guys are amazing.
Whoa. There we go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually getting a little bit misty here, I think, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised at all by it. That's who these people are. And yeah, it's just, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. That's amazing. Thank you, Aaron. And what Rick said times 100, to you. Thank you so much for all that you've done to make this happen. I just thank you so much.
Well, it feels like a teeny tiny contribution, but something that we can do is get together in this way. And so I'm glad that we have the technology. This is why I say over and over again, technology is our friend, because it does allow us to come together in this way. We will post the video on YouTube after the fact from this concert too. And of course, the donation links are not going away, right? The support needed for the community is going to be ongoing for a very long time. And so wherever you choose to share some donations will be greatly appreciated by all of those folks who are in these places in Western North Carolina and Tennessee and Georgia and Florida. Yeah. So I think the message is clear. Take care of each other, keep loving each other, and play some music, and that will keep us all sustained and going. And we are really, really hoping you're going to have Black Mountain Music Festival in Black Mountain, North Carolina in a year from now. Yeah.
Right on.
You'll keep us posted, right?
100%. And again, please follow the Facebook page for them, because they're putting out some great updates, and for those of you that we've sent out an email, they're working on your refunds for your room and board, stuff like that. They're working on it. They're digging out, they're getting back up and running. And so anyway, they're great people. But again, and for those of you who don't know, Erin was adopted into our family. So I'm kind of her.
I'm an honorary Modink.
She's a Modink, a big part of the Modink clan. So yeah, she's got to come back to Black Mountain too. So that's got to happen. So
yeah.
Anyway, if I'm there, you'll be there, because you're in my heart, and I thank you so much for everything you've done. I really do. It means the world.
Hey Chuck, do you have a mailing list for the festival? Black Mountain mailing list or something?
Yes. You mean like all the addresses and stuff?
Well, I mean, the best way for y'all to stay in touch with Chuck and Black Mountain is to get on his mailing list.
Yes. Black Mountain Music Festival @mail.com. If you're not already on the list, if you've gotten an email from us, you are on the list. But if you have not gotten any emails from us, send your name and to us at Black Mountain Music Festival @mail.com. And we'll add you in there.
Black Mountain Music Festival @mail.com.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it.
Got it. Fabulous. Okay, friends.
I don't want to leave the room.
We never wanted to end. We never wanted to end in person or on Zoom, do we?
No.
We just want to stay around and play more tunes all night long. But now you have to play tunes on your own. So go play yourself a tune. Put yourself to bed. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Chuck Moseley. Thank you to all the performers tonight. Thank you to all of you who are a part of this and have been so generous tonight. You're the best.
Love you all.
Love you all. There it is. Good night.